Hello you guys, this is my first major video, and in this video I am going to talk about how I lost a lot of weight and how I gained some muscle, like doing both at the same time, because here I was like pretty much obese. It was really bad, and now I'm like just slightly overweight, and it's only been like 10 months and I've already gained a lot of muscle. In this video, I'm gonna like say how I did that and like what you should do to like also get that, you know? Also, I have a decathlon shirt on. I don't know if it's cute, but like whatever. First and foremost, the most important thing is calories, to be in a calorie deficit. Now, basically, what does that mean? This is the most important thing to lose weight. You don't have to do crazy amounts of cardio or like really a lot of cardio. You should still do cardio, like moderate amounts of cardio. But I'm saying you don't have to do that to lose weight. If you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. I know from personal experience that you lose weight if you're in a calorie deficit. And if you don't know what a calorie deficit is, basically it is having just like some calories less than your maintenance. And you can calculate your maintenance, which is how much you would do if you didn't lose weight. Or gain, it's like how much you should have in it, like how much you're gonna have in a day, like the norm would be, and that's your maintenance. And you're supposed to go like 200, 300 calories below that maintenance so you can lose it sustainably. The thing is, do not be like the girls. You cannot be like the girls who do like 600 calories under their maintenance, or God forbid they do like 1,000 calories in their day. No, only do 200 to 300 below your maintenance, because then you won't have actual physical bad effects from it. Like in this way, you don't really feel much of a difference and you're still fine. Like you still ate and body will become to you, okay, hon? To calculate like your maintenance, subtracting any walking you do in the day, any sort of cardio you do, and any sort of sport, that will be your BMR. Now you need this as a baseline to like add on to your thing, to like add on to your maintenance and then subtract from that maintenance. It sounds like a lot, but it's really not. So for example, I'll use me as an example. My BMR is about 2,300 calories a day, and then I do about 400 calories in sport, and then I walk like 200 calories or 300 calories per day, so it's 3,000. And so normally I eat 2,700 calories in a day, because then I'm a couple hundred in a deficit. The max I will ever go is 2,900, because then I'm still in a deficit. I will never go to 3,000 though. So that's a clear example of how you're in a deficit, but you know, doesn't really affect much. Secondly, if you want to gain muscle, the most important thing is going to be protein. Full stop. Just literally protein all the way. And so the thing that you do protein is you do 1 gram of protein per pound. You have around 1.2 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram you have. It can vary a lot. Like I actually go on the lower end because I really hate protein. But for example, for me, I'm 112 kilograms and I have 180 grams of protein a day, like minimally, and at max I have like 215. But that's because you need at least 1 gram for every pound, and try to make it at least like 1.5 per kilogram, you know. That's normally the best, because if you have a lot of protein, it really helps build up your muscles. Like after you train your muscles and your muscles are sore and they're like the muscle fibers like tear a little bit, the protein helps rebuild those and rebuild those stronger and also bigger, and that's why people build muscle with the protein. However, Don't have too much protein, otherwise it's converted to sugar, and that's also not good. I think you can gain weight from that. I don't know about that area, but just like try and keep it in that range. Editing me here, I actually messed up here. I meant to say that if you can easily go 1 minute with resting and then you go immediately to the exercise, that isn't good. And those rest times should be always like around 2 to 3 minutes. I always do 3 minutes around there. Sometimes it's a little less, but I normally do 3 minutes. Something else that's really important, very important, is to do progressive overload. Now, progressive overload means increasing time you do stuff, increasing weight, increasing reps as well, like pretty much all of the above for those. For example, like let's just say right now, 2 weeks ago I did 65 kilograms with pec deck, and now I do 70 kilograms. And what I always do, which is really helpful for me, when I start off a new weight, pretty much when I have my weight, I start off on 8, and then I go to 10, then I do 12, and then I wait a little bit of time, and then when I go into the new weight category, I go back to 8. You don't have to do this, but for me, it's the easiest, and it probably is for a lot of people, so that's just what I do with it. Progressive overload is really important, though, because that's how your muscles get used to more weight, because they do get stronger over time. Something else that's really important is the amount of rest time you have in between the muscle groups. Like, for example, I can't train arms like 6 times a week, nor can I like train chest or any other muscle group. Like, it's not good if I only have 1 day of rest in between each muscle group. It's not good, because your muscles, they need time to rest. And that's why I always have at least 2 days in between each muscle group. So, for example, I train arms on Mondays and Thursdays, and so I have Tuesday and Wednesday completely not training them, because it's not good to. I took way too long explaining this part, but I just wanted to say that sleep and water are also really important for both weight loss and muscle gaining, because of hormone balance, because of the muscle flexation, and amongst other things. I don't know all of them, but just look them up if you want to know all of the scientific reasons. I just know that it's really good too. Something else that is moderately important is to have protein after your workout, because it helps you rebuild the muscle more. Like, obviously, how I was talking with how protein helps you rebuild the muscle that you tore in your muscle group area. I'm sorry, I'm not speaking scientifically, but like, this is just what I know. And having protein after your workout is the best way to get more of the muscle, because protein, as I said, helps you rebuild the muscle that you tore, and so it helps you build more of that muscle when you have the protein. And doing this right after you tore it, it's not like, it's like, it sounds really bad, but it's just like that, and it's not bad. It helps you rebuild it right after, which is the best time to do it. And you can have protein. What I always do is I have it like 30 to 60 minutes after, which is probably the best. But like, if you don't have time, like, you can wait longer. It's not like the most rigorous window ever. And that's why I only think it's like moderately important. And also, here's something else. So you don't feel like utter garbage while you work out and pretty much any other time of the day, is try to have like nutritionally dense protein foods, or just foods in general when you're on the cut, which is called being in a deficit. It's called being on the cut, because it helps you feel full, first of all, so you don't go over the cut, and it does make you feel better both emotionally and physically, and it's just good for your health, so you should do that. And last but definitely not least, we have will and determination. Now, it starts off where you really need a lot of it. Like, you need to be persistent, and it's the most, probably one of the most important things to keep going. And I know it's really hard for some people, but eventually, for some people like myself, eventually it became fun, and I really liked going there and to the gym, and it just became part of my routine, and then I can't see myself not going. So it could be like that for you, and even if it isn't, that is okay because you're always strong enough. Anyways, that's all of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!